Okay, I'm gonna pose a question to you guys today, and I swear it will lead somewhere. If you were single, if you're not already, and if you were on a date, let's say you're a woman and you're on a date with a guy, and the guy says to you the first minute you meet him, hey, just so you know, I'm dating 20 other girls and I'm really looking for whoever the hottest is and who's available for me 24/7. So just, full transparency, that's what I'm looking for. What would you do? Okay? You're a guy and you meet the girl and within 10 seconds, she says, hey, just so you know, I'm looking for someone who's the richest. I want the richest person in the world, and I've got some good candidates, there's Elon and Jeff, but I don't know, I heard that Gucci guy's richer now. Not Gucci, is it? Which one is it? Not Gucci, Louis Vuitton. He's richer now, right? You'd be like, ugh, run, right? You'd run, because anyone knows that there's always gonna be someone hotter. There's always gonna be someone richer. It's just the way the world works. It's just the way the world works. There's I'm actually sitting here trying to think of anything where there's the absolute best of anything. And I don't think I can. If you guys think you can, there's opinions on what the best of something is, but what's the best car in the world? What is it? I don't know. I bet there's 30 people who could give me 30 cars that they think are the best that are all different. The purpose of this example is this. Often as a lender, I'll have people approach me who say, hey, full transparency, I'm shopping 32 lenders and I want the lowest rate. And I'm like, okay, cool, how are you shopping them? Well, I'm calling them all, and then I applied with 15 of them. Okay, are you comparing them on the same day? Well, no, but I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna be really honest, guys. When I get a call like that, all I wanna do is click end, because I know it's gonna be a colossal waste of time. And sometimes I'll even be like, hey, I've got a video on rate shopping. Can I send that to you? It will really help. And the reason is, A, if someone's telling me that's how they're rate shopping and that, they know what they're doing, clearly they don't, but they're not aware enough to know that they don't. Secondly, as a lender, competing with 30 other lenders when the person doesn't even know how to properly judge them, it's a losing game. It's gonna be whatever lender. There's gonna be one lender that wins that either A, pulls a con game. So let's talk about what a lender con game is. Okay, so you're shopping for a house, and I had a client call me this weekend that a realtor had sent my way just to get a double set of eyes on his situation. And he's like, oh, XYZ is giving me this rate, and can you beat it? And I'm like, are you in contract? No. Okay. And I said, okay, look, here's the way rates work. Lenders aren't locking you until you're in contract, so anything that they're telling you before that is an estimate. Okay? I said the day that you go into contract is generally when lenders lock you, and it's at that point you can 100% determine where you're gonna get that rate. So the person who quotes you, this was VA, 2.5 on, May 12th, on June 30th is gonna have a different rate. The odds of that rate being the same are incredibly low. And the reason is that interest rates are tied to the markets. You also have other factors such as margins. What type of margins are the lenders trying to charge, the banks? All that type of stuff comes into play. So the odds of a rate that was quoted a month prior being the same a month later, it's very low, okay? So I went through this in detail, and we had a good conversation. It was an hour. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna call you on Tuesday. And I'm like, okay, great. What are we talking about on Tuesday? He's like, well, I wanna know if you can beat that rate. And I just went, you can't win, right? In a situation like that, if it doesn't matter anything that I say, you can't win. So who wins that client? Who wins that client? It's the person that says, oh, I'm at 2.25. That's it. Now, can the client actually hold that lender to the rate? No, it's not locked. And I've covered this before, that if it's not locked, it's not real. But it's one of those things that I think it's really hard to understand, because as a consumer, you get really frustrated. You're like, well, how the heck am I supposed to know? right? And I feel you guys, like, how the heck are you supposed to judge this? So here are my suggestions. Number one, when you're looking at, like, I have a video about rate shopping, and I say, before you even start looking at rates, start looking at who's going to be doing your loan, the actual person. Yeah, the actual person. I was talking to my sister about this recently. My sister specializes, she's a mortgage lender as well, and she specializes in a type of income called RSUs. And you know, there's a lot of tech companies that have RSU as income, and the way that it's treated is very specific. And certain investors have a way of handling it. Some won't even touch it for a period of time. There's a lot of hooks and rules to it. And I was talking to her about this because she was telling me about this client that she'd been working with a long time. And they were going to go with this other lender. And I was like, but wait, they don't even do RSUs. She's like, I know, I tried to tell them, but they told me their rate was lower. And so her and I both know that that client's going to get 15 days into their contract. The bank's going to come back and go, oh, your debt to income's too high. But is the client listening to us? No. No. Did they listen to her, who specializes in this type of income? No, they just went for the rate. So the key thing here is make sure that the individual originator, the person sitting in this chair, okay, knows what they're doing. Everyone thinks like, oh, getting a loan's so easy, it doesn't matter who your loan officer is. There is a reason that some lenders do hundreds of millions in loans and some do 5 million a year. It's because of ability to perform and customer satisfaction, right? That's what sets it apart. It really is, because if people like the product that you give them, if you're honest and ethical, your business grows. If you're struggling for every deal, something's wrong. Like either you're not performing, the clients aren't feeling satisfied, you know, something's amiss. So it's very important to look at who the actual person is that is doing your loan. So you can go on to NMLS Consumer Access, and you can look up their licensing number, which will tell you all about their history. I strongly encourage this. Also, reviews. Reviews are so important. I'm always shocked when people are like, well, they have no reviews and they've been in business for 20 years. How is it possible to be in business for 20 years and not one of your client wants to say something nice about you online? Is that possible? Right? Like, I would rather they have a ghost than negative reviews, but at the same point, like, how, just like think about it, like, how is it possible that 20 years being in the mortgage industry, no one took 3 minutes to say something nice about you? I mean, I wouldn't feel super comfortable with that. Personally, like, I love reviews. I read reviews on everything. And it's because I trust the American public to tell me, you know, if something's good or if something's bad. Now, of course, there's gonna be someone that goes, well, people can buy fake reviews. It is so easy to tell if there's fake reviews. Fake reviews are like, Paul was good. Like, they never have details, or they're like detailed in weird ways, or it's like, you know, a restaurant and they're talking about the 5-star haircut they got. Like, they're pretty easy to spot. So definitely the person in the seat, what are their reviews? And then read through those reviews, because one thing you'll see is sometimes you'll see, like, I've come up against a couple guys where the rates are so low. I'm like, oh my God, how is this even possible? You know, and I do my research. So I go onto Yelp, I go onto Google, I go onto, you know, Better Business, I go onto all of these, and sometimes you'll see the reviews where it's like, they promised me I would get this, but then at the last minute it was way higher, and you'll see consistent threads. So you guys really want to look for that, because if you're trying to get the lowest rate, not doing that part of the research is gonna hurt you, okay? So the key point of this video was that rate shopping is good, but you need to know how to do it. And also, often what's more important than the rate is who's actually doing your loan and can they perform. We are in the most competitive buyer's market in history. Having a lender that causes delays, having a lender that's doing a loan for the first time on you, having a lender that doesn't read guidelines, having a lender that doesn't have good processing support, having a lender that's not aggressive in terms of your timeline, all of that will hurt you. And it doesn't matter what the rate is if you can't close, Okay, so not trying to be condescending or anything else, but this is something that I see a decent amount of it. And to me, it's like, I feel bad for those clients because I know that, I mean, if I know someone's rate shopping wrong and they're doing it with 30 people, I do disconnect from it because it's not gonna work. And I do actually feel really bad for those people because how many other good lenders are just disconnecting? And the reason we're doing it is because we need to focus our energy and efforts on closing and helping clients that want to move forward, not people that just want to nickel and dime everything without knowing how to do it. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys are having a good day. If someone thinks this is ridiculous, as always, comment.